All right, as promised, we're joined right now by Kevin Sorbo, actor, director, Let There Be Light, the latest movie coming out or has come out now on DVD. It was in release starting last October of 2017. Kevin, welcome.
It's good to be here. It's good to see you again. We haven't seen each other in a while. It's fun to bump into you on the airplane.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Well, it's always good to go to one of those DeBartolo events down in Tampa. They know how to do things right.
Yeah, they do. It was a very classy event. And it's been a while since they invited me, but every year that they invited me, I was just too busy to come. And I was there for the first couple, so it was nice to sort of get back in that loop again.
Yeah, it's a fantastic group. Yeah, trust me, it was a great time to be around them, and that whole era was really special. Let There Be Light. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Just coming out now on DVD. It's been 4 or 5 months since it was released in the theaters. How's the release going?
Well, the theatrical release was late October, so it ran all of November, December, and into January. It had a good 12-week run there. Mm-hmm. And now the DVD came out just recently. It's on Amazon. It's on Walmart, but it did great. I got to say, I mean, when you're an independent movie, you don't have $100 million to promote it like they do for Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. Yeah. So really, you've got to rely on word of mouth. But there's been such a strong following lately, especially in some of the faith-based movies I've been doing, like What If and God's Not Dead, Abel's Field, Soul Surfer. So this is in the vein of those type of movies. It's a wonderful story dealing with. I play the world's greatest atheist who has his worldview has changed when something happens to him, and he is just on a tailspin of trying to figure out why everything he thought was true or not true has been switched around on him. So it's a story about this love, hope, redemption, characters that people will be able to relate to. I'm sure we've had so many emails coming in, thousands of emails coming out saying this movie has made them just, really think about life and family and what's more important than just the everyday craziness we put ourselves through with work and traffic and everything else.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines from that movie is when you're sitting with Frances there on the steps and, well, now Jesus gets whacked.
Oh my gosh! That was Michael Francese. He was. If people don't know who he is, his father was an actual godfather. The guy was a mobster. Michael was a mobster.
Right.
And when he got busted and put in prison, he gave up some information. His father put a hit on him in prison. Yeah. So they had to confine him to solitary confinement to keep him safe. And a guard gave him a Bible, and he read the Bible 12 times during his 2 years in solitary confinement, and he became a Christian. And now he travels the country, the world, and he's got, millions and millions of people on his social media, and he basically played himself in the movie. And that line just totally cracked me up because you never hear it put that way. Jesus gets whacked, but the reality was he was whacked.
Yeah, they put out a hit on him.
Yeah, no question. And the movie will there's a lot of very funny moments and touching moments in there as well. And I think people will, really enjoy it, and I hope they get out and support it because like I said, independent movies need the support to get out there. Otherwise, Hollywood's going to get their secular message out there, and shows like Lucifer and all these other shows that deal with negativity and hate and anger and death keep prospering, and we're trying to get movies out there that have a positive message.
Yeah, we talked last week on the podcast to Andrew Hyatt, the director of Paul the Apostle of Christ. Another one of those movies is just coming out now.
Yeah, well, Jim Caviezel and I had the same agent manager for years, so he's a good friend of mine. He lives out near me, out here north of L.A. as well, but I'm getting a hold of Mel Gibson to make sure I get put in a sequel to The Passion of the Christ, because I think they're going to probably start shooting at it about another 2 years down the road. Yeah. If
I'm like a lot of people, I first found out about Let There Be Light from watching Sean Hannity's show. How did that come together? How did that connection ever happen?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you put out a movie. You take God's Not Dead, for instance. Okay, here's a $2 million movie that I was part of. that made over $80 million box office in America and over $100 million worldwide. And Good Morning America, Today Show, CNN, all these other shows, no interest in talking to us. It's the 5th highest returning dollar-for-dollar movie in the history of Hollywood. There's been thousands and thousands of movies. It's number 5 in dollar return, and they had zero interest because it dealt with God. It dealt with a positive, redemptive values. I joke when I say, if I played a pedophile Islamic Muslim radical terrorist, then they'd have me on. But I say that as a joke, but the reality is they would have me on for that. Mm-hmm. But they have a movie on there that deals with something positive. They're not interested. So Fox is the only outlet that lets you come on and talk about God.
Yeah.
So I've been on Fox many times over the years, and Fox and Friends, and Hannity, and he called me out of the blue, and he said, "Hey, Sorbo, it's Hannity, and I want to do one of these movies, like What If and God's Not Dead. Do you have something?" So we flew to New York, we pitched him, and 30 minutes later, he wrote a check, and 3 months later, we were filming, and 6 months later, after we did all the editing and everything else that needed to be done with sound mixing and voiceovers, whatever, the movie is in theaters. That's unheard of, because money doesn't chase scripts. Scripts are always chasing money. I've got a dozen really good scripts that I'm trying to find money for. So it's not an easy road to finance independent movies. And he came to us. And, like I said, the movie did very well. We did triple what the budget was, and we got a great multi-million deal from Amazon and multi-million deal from overseas and theatrical. And Sean is going to not only get his money back, but he's going to make a hefty little profit too. So we're very grateful to this movie and his support. His support was huge for us.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind, also, could you talk a little bit about the trip to Israel that you and your wife Sam are doing? It's something when we saw each other, last week or so, very, very intrigued, and it sounds like one of those kind of bucket list, once in a lifetime. Because I know a lot of people that say, I would like to at one time go to the Holy Land. And this is an unbelievable opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. All they got to do is go to SorboIsraelTrip.com. That's Sorbo, SORBO, IsraelTrip.com. And that gives you all the information. It's July 16th to the 26th this summer. Hotels are gone. They're sold out. We've got the room. We got the best guides. We're going to follow in the steps of Jesus. Travel all over Israel. It's the 70th anniversary of their independence. It's their first year. They're moving their capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem for the first time ever. I mean, every president has talked about making that happen and helping make that happen, but Trump's the only one who actually followed through with it. Mm-hmm. I saw a very funny video from Jimmy Carter to Clinton to Obama to Bush's, all of them saying, yes, we're going to move it. We're going to make sure. And they never did anything. So, I'm impressed that when the other Republicans, which I call rhinos, don't get in the way, our president gets stuff done. So it's very exciting, and people should show up and bring their family. We're making it a family affair. So SorboIsraelTrip.com. It's going to be great. We're going to go everywhere and see everything. And we're going to visit both tombs where they know Jesus was buried in one of the tombs. There's a lot of debate over which one it was. So We're going to cover both of those tombs to make sure that whatever pictures you get, at least you got yourself covered.
That's great. That's fantastic. Hey, when we first got together here today by phone, you had mentioned you got back last night at about 2:00 in the morning from my favorite spot golf-wise on the entire planet. You were in Augusta, weren't you?
I just was there for the 2 days of practice rounds. I played with Gary 20 years ago at a celebrity event in Monte Carlo that Kevin Costner and Prince Albert were hosting, and Gary was my pro for 3 days, and we just hit it off. And that was during my Hercules years, and
yeah.
I was in great shape, and I was ripped up, and Gary's all about fitness, and so we talked about things, and I have an after-school program for 21 years that deals with fitness called the World Fit for Kids. So he loved all that stuff. So we've always kept in touch. We've golfed. I've been to the Masters a couple times with him through the years, and so he invited me this year. I stayed at his house with him. We had a big dinner with a bunch of people on a Monday night. We golfed on Monday and Tuesday morning at the Champions Retreat, which is 27 holes, where he designed 1-9, and Mr. Arnie Palmer did another one, and Jack Nicklaus did the other one. So we went out in the afternoons and walked around the sites, and I got to, shake hands and see Tiger again, because I've known Tiger a long time, but it's been a while since I've seen him. And Sergio Garcia, I golfed with Sergio when he was 19, and haven't seen him in a long time. He ran over to me, gave a big hug. I congratulated him on his win last year and on his newborn baby, and it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, how special is that place? I mean, it's just especially the best thing about going to Augusta is bringing somebody that's never been there and just watching them when they see the topography, for one, and just the general beauty, because it's not your typical like thing you're expecting to see when you're walking or you're driving down that road with all the fast food restaurants, and suddenly it's basically horticultural heaven.
Well, it's funny. I got the TV on right now. The sound's off, and I just looked up, and there's Gary Player at the practice facility there, hitting shots out of the bunker, and he just put 2 balls in a row within 1.5 feet of the cup with a camera on them. So it's so cool to walk around there. I mean, people have they say television doesn't do injustice, but here's the thing: it's still an amazing course on TV, but when you walk out there are golf courses, but this is the golf course. I mean, this is right up there with Pine Valley and Cypress, and it's just unbelievable, this place. And they have no idea how steep some of these slopes are because they can't see it on television. And if you miss these greens, like you can hit the front of number 9 and be 15 feet on the green, it's going to roll 90 yards down the hill.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And how far these guys hit. I thought there was a grouping of Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and Freddie Couples on yesterday when I was out there. I heard they're back out there again today, same group. So I followed them. I wanted to see what they would do over at 13, 14, 15, which is the par 5, par 4, par 5. Tiger went eagle, birdie, eagle in his practice round.
Wow. Hey, did you hear Phil's explanation on how they figured out who was going to go first?
No, I didn't hear.
Reporter asked him, and Phil looked at the guy and went, 4-3-1-0. Tiger's got 4, I've got 3, Freddie's got 1, and got none.
Peters has 0.
Yeah,
exactly.
Peters has none. That's how we go.
I mean, here's a really great golfer, but this was a practice round yesterday, and it was 10 people deep on both sides of the fairway just to get a glimpse of this threesome. Yeah. And Peters is awesome, world-class player, but people know who he is. But there's so many people there with kids and other people that are not quite golf literate that only know about Tiger, Phil, and Freddie. That they didn't even know who this guy was, and he's playing right, even with them. But it was pretty neat. I'm glad I got both sunny days when I was out there.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not quite sunny now. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. Good luck with the DVD release on Let There Be Light and the trip to Israel and everything else. Exciting times for you and Sam.
More to come. I got a movie opening in September called One Nation Under God. We've got a television pilot for a new TV series we're going to shoot in South Africa, and we got Lionsgate behind us doing being the production house. And just staying busy. I'll be in Nashville in about a month and a half filming a comedy making fun of political correctness. I can't wait to do that.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Roseanne needs a challenger.
There you go. They got to bring Last Man Standing back. Tim Allen's show was awesome.
It was. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
All right, Randy. All the best.
All righty. Bye-bye.